It's here in the grotto that the shark can discover the absolute serenity deep within her soul. Another shark hunt begins.
We have a major shark situation.
The beast of the fleet, Captain Robert
We
Brunlett.
got ourselves a fish problem.
Sighted.
Things are getting heated in this war of attrition between man and nature. Meanwhile, aboard the Cajun Queen, Pierre LeBlanc, known by his fellow anglers as Scaly Pete.
There they hunted sharks. I hunt sharks. It's in the blood. There was somebody better at this, you be following them, yeah? Well, people got a lot of wrong ideas about sharks. So I just say we gotta coexist. Now, how you gonna coexist with that shark, huh? Shark just wanna do one thing. That's kill you, eat you, and you out. What I do, I consider a sacred honor. Kill them all if I could. Too bad, they put 24 hours to a day.
Shark spotted in Fawtick Bayou. Several deaths reported. Shark can be identified by rusty harpoon embedded in flank.
Get out of my way. Got a job to do.
is an adult bull shark. Fast, fierce, and armed quite literally to the teeth, she has little to fear here in the Gulf. The muscular marvel confidently moves through its watery world. The shark's black alien eye is firmly fixed on her prey. Exhibiting behavior more common to a thresher shark, this bull makes creative use of her powerful tail. A shark fin is a sinister reminder to humans that the ocean remains a wild and untamed domain. The bull performs an acrobatic feat worthy of an orca, cruelly imprisoned and put on display in a marine park stunt show. The bull's speed is astounding for a large marine predator. A breaching shark is a rare and calorie-intensive spectacle. Skiffs are commonly used for drug smuggling. Why, I bet you could load at least $250,000 worth of cocaine on that one.
What the heck is that?
Close encounter of the deadliest kind. It must be emphasized that this sort of targeted violence is quite unusual for a shark.
That shark needs a good whack on their nose. Go get him, Chad. How you doing there, shark? Making a lot of splash. teeth. Ooh, she gonna make quite a mantelpiece. Got us some dinner coming, boys. Let's get her up on deck, huh?
On board the Cajun Queen, Scaly Pete looks over the catch of the day.
Yeah, this my daddy's iron, all right. But this ain't the shark. Not the one I was looking for.
How do you know?
How I know? Not big enough. This look like a mega to you? Oh, well, looky here. She's on for me. Hello! How you mama and them?
Whoa! Well, why'd you do that?
So I can identify her next time I see her. When I spear her.
The tiny pup responds with an instinct for survival.
You maybe want to turn off that camera.
A famous big game hunter once posited that after an animal had tasted human flesh, it forsakes its natural prey in a deadly single-minded search for the most dangerous game. It's here in the grotto that the shark can discover the absolute serenity deep within her soul. Exhibiting behavior more common to whales and dolphins, this shark is able to use biosonar to locate potential prey. Is a freshwater fish commonly found throughout the Great Lakes region, so I have no idea what it's doing here. I have one of those new pop-up tub stoppers at home, and let me tell you, those things are just a magnet for hair and debris. Man's tendency to anthropomorphize them into lovable cartoon characters belies the fact that sea turtles are ornery creatures that can bite through bone. if hardly discriminating either. Overhunting of Fawtick's keystone predators has led to a superabundance of catfish, which is just fine by local bully Rosie the alligator. Shark's unique eyes allow it to see in both bright and dim light. Some sharks are scavengers, indiscriminately consuming anything that's vaguely edible. should expect much angst, ennui, and poor decision-making. Sharks' propensity to clear the ocean of its assorted detritus is one of their most valuable functions. As a result of industrial pollution and sewage wastewater, Dead Horse Lake was designated a Superfund site in 1996. We appreciate the grant from Sunshine Solutions that made this show possible. We'd also like to remind viewers that mass cloning and gene editing for today's military is safer than ever. The artist spent 16 years building this sculpture out of trash pulled from the lake, only to have it thrown back in the lake by intoxicated locals. The grotto provides a brief respite from the Sturm und Drang of the Gulf. Until local police departments settle a dispute over jurisdiction, these two remain a popular attraction for selfie-seeking snorkelers. bull displays a relatively advanced hunting strategy. While most know him as the friendly face of Captain Winky's fish and chips, in real life, the pirate was a genocidal monster who murdered and enslaved thousands. Of barracuda frequents the waters around Trash Island, where they enjoy a steady diet of hypodermic needles and used pregnancy tests. This instantized protein makes a great between-meal supplement, giving the shark the energy she needs to put on serious mass. The aquatic hunter is vulnerable to hot water. Perhaps having gone too far with her pranks and hijinks, is now the subject of a county-wide shark hunt.
Kinda regular there at Flamingo Joe's. People say it's a tourist trade. But it's the only place to get a decent Sazerac that don't have me on their do not serve list.
Port Clovis has grown bored of the hunt, leaving our shark to fight another. Made a home near the retired nuclear cooling towers. This is a great opportunity for the shark to test the theory that exposure to gamma rays gives you superpowers. Supercharged with gene-altering mutagens, the shark now has an asymmetric edge on the competition. The shark returns once again to her safe haven. prey. The needle-toothed nightmare, the Barracuda. Barracuda. While most recognize it as the title of a classic rock radio staple, did you know that it's also a fish? Well, it's true. It's here in the grotto that the shark can discover the absolute serenity deep within her soul. Back on board the Cajun Queen.
That's Kyle, my son. He's just here for the summer. Studies marine biology. Look at that. I got one hand can still tie a hook. You got two can barely tie his shoes. Must get that from his mama. Yeah. He used to help my daddy around. Spent a lot of time together. But we wasn't close. He was a shark hunter, that's all he was. If anybody were gonna catch the mega, it'd be him. Thought it was a government experiment, got himself loose. Boy, he wanted that shark. Wanted it bad. Found it once. Didn't catch it, no.
What happened to your father?
Huh?
What happened?
Look, I ain't got time to answer questions all day. Got work to do.
Just like Kyle LeBlanc, our young bull is the inheritor of a long family tradition, struggling to find her place in the world. Golden Shores was built as vacation residences for wealthy out-of-towners, with spectacular ocean views, private beach access, and a gate to keep out the locals. Is an animal of broad dietary proclivities. Even for sharks, it's important to create personal time for sober self-reflection. Some sharks are scavengers, indiscriminately consuming anything that's vaguely edible. explorers import this mako from Sri Lanka and train it to guard their community? Not likely, but let's pretend they did, as it makes for a more interesting storyline. Vigilante fever has seized Port Clovis, making it dangerous for anything that swims.
Celebrate killing beautiful animals for tasting nutritionless body parts than a $450 round.
Stay patient, everybody. Hey, it's... False alarm, just alarm. Shark? Anybody got some lip balm?
Protein caches like this one are a convenient and tasty way for sharks to increase their protein intake.
It's hurting me. I know it. Could be what
Somebody got it. Right?
Humans' attention spans are short. They've already forgotten about the shark and her many crimes, so thus ends the bounty. Not really a gourmand, the bull shark will eat just about anything. Nothing gets a kingfish in the mood quite like watching a 73-year-old hit a double bogey. The fact that they've turned the waters off Baton Tordu into a spawning ground attests to their love of seniors golf. Golf ball diving is an exciting and growing field where you can risk alligators and venomous snakes for 7 to 10 cents per ball. In the kill or be killed world of the sea, performance-enhancing mutations provide benefits that could mean the difference between life and death. The members of Baton Tordu who commissioned this piece apparently found it whimsical, whereas if you ask me, it's a little trite and unimaginative. The bull shark's sensory organs are all situated near its mouth. is now an adult, and she should probably spend less, save more, and start researching indexed mutual funds. The shark returns to the grotto to focus on personal transformation. The Sultan of Speed, the Mako. And aggressive, the Mako is known as the peregrine falcon of sharks. But as the peregrine is a land-based bird, this designation means nothing to the Mako. The Fawtick Bayou area has lost 63 acres of marshland due to saltwater intrusion. panic from the shark's target could spell death. Bayou Brawler, the American alligator. Has been a star in Big B's Bayou Buddy stunt show, but our shark is far too young to appreciate Rosie's classic brand of celebrity. A nervous influx is communicated to the shark's brain. It recognizes that a potential meal is near. A clock would hardly be the strangest thing ever retrieved from a crocodile's mouth. It's here in the grotto that the shark can discover the absolute serenity deep within her soul. Golden Shore's development was originally met with local protest, but those objections were easily circumvented with campaign donations to Planning Commission Director Steve Traeger. Bull sharks have a habit of gobbling up anything that finds its way into them. Sharks' propensity to clear the ocean of its assorted detritus is one of their most valuable functions. Back aboard the Cajun Queen, family tensions are at an all-time high.
Kyle, what's wrong? Can't you catch no reef?
I can, but this one's like 20 feet.
15.
Whatever.
Can't do it.
I'll come out there, I'll do it. The old man with one hand.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't be mutilating baby sharks.
What you say?
Nothing.
Boy couldn't catch in a diaper. He telling me how to hunt a shark. Believe that?
I mean, I came down here thinking it'd be a good opportunity for some father-son bonding. But now, I don't know. I might start looking for another summer job.
Hey, not everybody made to be a fisherman. I just hope this whole university thing works out for him, yeah?
Sapphire Bay's famous Pier 1 provides visitors with plenty of skee ball, popcorn shrimp, and elegantly airbrushed t-shirts. Only here can the shark discover the miracle of self-love. Long a haven for small government ideologues, Port Clovis prides itself in its lax amusement park safety standards. The shark uses lipids from high-fat fare like this to help fuel her reign of terror. The predatory scavenger is often quite content to dine on whatever wastes fall to the ocean floor. Shark bounties became commonplace here after the previous mayor's practice of hiring Fijian shark charmers proved largely ineffective.
Take out the gauntlet when he wasn't nothing but an itty-bitty boy. The fact that he was afraid of that Ferris wheel should have told me he wasn't never gonna be no shark.
Suffocating out today. Probably right under me.
A shark is never one to pass up a fat fiesta. The seawolf remains acutely aware of anything that might constitute food. There's no such thing as a recession-proof business, except for the frozen banana stand. Whether boom or bust, the demand for reliable, quality frozen bananas remains a constant. The grotto provides a brief respite from the Sturm und Drang of the Gulf. America's largest shark finning enterprise, Mama Maybelle Bryant has collected quite a fleet of recreational boats. Her fail sons, Randall and Tyson, can often be spotted piloting them around Sapphire Bay. The clever predator shows a well-developed talent for finding food. Parrotfish use their strong beaks to scrape plants and algae from coral reefs. The profusion of parrotfish here have kept Sapphire Bay's local hammerhead healthy and strange-looking. The shark returns once again to her safe haven. One's Bird Dog Grill is famous for its endless platter challenge, featuring a dozen oysters, one full rack of ribs, 6 sausage links, half a barbecue chicken, and 25 spicy wings. It's here in the grotto that the shark can discover the absolute serenity deep within her soul. evolutionary anomaly, the hammerhead. Shark triumphs, overcoming her opponent's clearly superior depth perception. As twilight falls, Pete is in an uncharacteristically quiet mood.
It's a dangerous job. It's not something unknown to me. Well, you want to see dangerous? Look at that, yeah? That's PT 522. My daddy crewed that off of Guadalcanal. He was Navy. Gunner's mate. Pacific Theater. But when I was 16 men, came back a day later with 3. Man survives all that, just to die here in the Gulf.
What happened to him?
Boy, you don't like me saying this, but my daddy, his granddaddy, was killed by a mega shark.
I'm sorry. He's talking about a prehistoric fish that went extinct 2.6 million years ago.
I seen it.
Now, you were a kid.
Ain't they discover new animals all the time?
Sort of. Well, not exactly. In lots of cases, they're just corrections of species with different names. Also stuff like misspelling.
But I just say it. Maybe there are things in the water that ain't in your textbook. Stick around. Maybe you learn a thing or two this summer.
Whatever.
The ocean is vast. The majority of it still remains unmapped and unexplored by mankind. Perhaps Kyle shouldn't be so quick to dismiss his father's fevered ramblings.
That's the one what took my hand, all right. Get yourself ready, boy. Now we playing with power. Come on. This is just a game we play. Look ahead. This dude's a crafty monster.
Steady now.
Come on. This is just a game we play. This girl's a crafty monster! Need reinforcements! Don't drag us now! That damn cage cost me $3,000. Don't fight what's inevitable! God! She busting enough to get your attention, Annie?
Scaly Pete remains resolute.
Where's she at?
I don't know. Ah!
Big enough to tussle now, ain't you? Kyle! Get that can! Douse him! Pique-toi! Ah! We're about to blow! Get the f*** off! Forget it, boy! He's just a boy! Carl! Carl!
What remains of the boat lurches, then slowly sinks to the bottom of the sea. The shark returns to the grotto to focus on personal transformation. Encounters such as this are quick and impersonal things. The Gulf Stream is just one of many major currents that mariners have used since time immemorial to circumnavigate the globe. Prosperity Sands features glittering white beaches fenced off for the sole enjoyment of the ultra-rich, mega-rich, and super-rich. This mineral supplement wouldn't be necessary if this shark ate a more nutritious, well-balanced diet. In the not-so-distant future, a young visionary entrepreneur will spot these 3 shells while snorkeling and revolutionize after-toilet care. It's here in the grotto that the shark can discover the absolute serenity deep within her soul. Pulling off a successful casino heist is made even harder when you drive off the road into the ocean and drown. Operated by Roger Cantrell, recently broke the state record for number of revocable commercial fishing offenses. After the end of the tiki craze, bar owners toss their Polynesian-inspired decor into the Gulf, where their kitschy charm is completely lost on native marine life. The battle is over, but the war goes on. The bull shark's sensory organs are all situated near its mouth. Fat-rich milk from a lactic seal enables short bursts of high energy, making it a popular choice for transports. Fostering a balanced ecosystem is a complex and multifaceted process. What harm could arise from killing a bunch of seals? awaited justice for her heinous crimes, the shark was now the subject of a bounty.
Out by Prosperity Sands.
629 days, Prosperity Sands ain't had no shark attacks. You can thank old Pete for that. Prosperity Sands sure ain't.
The air out here has a distinctive smell, that of sea salt, nitrogen oxides, and an intriguing bouquet of volatile organic compounds. Some sharks are scavengers, indiscriminately consuming anything that's vaguely edible. This trimaran, like many before it, was lost in its journey to the mythological dry land. The predatory scavenger is often quite content to dine on whatever wastes fall to the ocean floor. With little fanfare, another bounty hunt comes to a close. The shark is now an elder, and thus begins a new battle against systemic age discrimination. Emperor of the Deep, the Great White. Is often referred to as the king of the ocean, which gives it a skewed understanding of the role of a monarch in modern society.
Pete, what's in the barrels?
Fish food.
Pete, whatever this is, can I ask you not to do it?
Gonna get that shark, one way or another.
It's just that this is unnecessarily destructive. I mean, it's just one shark. There's a whole ecosystem.
One shark that killed my boy.
Pete, look, I understand.
Wanna keep tugging on this knot, you?
Along Blanchard County's 78-mile coastline, there are 35 miles of sandy beach, only 6 of which aren't owned by resorts, individuals, or homeowners associations. Quite a strange conglomeration of stuff will end up in the stomachs of sharks. Even for sharks, it's important to create personal time for sober self-reflection. Over the course of a bull shark's life, it will ingest quite a broad assortment of flotsam and jetsam. Sea turtle numbers have exploded here. Bad news for seagrass, great news for orcas who enjoy torturing and eating them. avoid starvation, a shark must always be ready to pursue and attack. It's estimated that only 1 out of 1,000 sea turtles lives to adulthood. That means this turtle is quite the survivor. Charged with gene-altering mutations, the shark now has an asymmetric edge on the competition. This protein supplement has 0 additives, so the shark doesn't have to worry about hidden artificial colors or flavors. Sharks are responsible for just 3% of hunter deaths. Drugs, alcohol, and poor firearm handling account for the rest.
Let's put down this shark, huh?
Shark!
Them killer whales, they got their fish fingers. You could say I got a real keen eye for talent. Although, wheelers really gotta work on those side areas.
You got a read on it?
The shark uses lipids from high-fat fare like this to help fuel her reign of terror.
Suffocating out today. This is anticlimactic.
The hunt ends. But this is a mere pause in the eternal struggle between man and nature. Even after the creation of a killer clown task force, clown-related homicide still remains a problem in Port Clovis. fingers, Casanita just wants her favorite comfort food, raw shark liver. Fort Clovis City Council never misses an opportunity for cross-franchising. A quiet space is the ideal stage for the shark to meditate and harness her pure potentiality. The white and black attack, the Orca. The featured attraction at marine mammal parks now have a new favorite trick, killing things. The accelerating destruction of the Gulf has occurred in tandem with a wholly humanized view of progress and development. The grotto provides a brief respite from the Sturm und Drang of the Gulf. 24-karat gold fixtures, 2 discos, circular staircases, and a mosaic swimming pool, the Chatelaine is still only Port Clovis's second most ostentatious yacht. Society have retaliated with deterrent action, but mankind is ultimately impotent to stop Mother Nature's vengeance. To eat over a ton of food every day, which here in the Gulf mostly consists of hammerhead sharks. Quiet space is the ideal stage for the shark to meditate and harness her pure potentiality. crew to earn the shark hunter's trust, to convince them we were not insurance investigators questioning their disability claims.
We've had some real bad fish kills because of these oil tankers spinning. But it brings a lot of money into the economy. Can't argue with that.
Forgotten all about its rogue shark. Retreats to the grotto for refuge and quiet reflection. A great way to discourage museum attendance is to put your museum underwater. The cetacean assassin, the sperm whale. The world practically ran on sperm whale oil. Now we can only watch them from afar, dreaming of tapping their skulls for all that sweet spermaceti. Supercharged with gene-altering mutagens, the shark now has an asymmetric edge on the competition. The shark is now a mega shark, often referred to by scientists as the 64-ounce gas station soda of large marine predators. The bull retreats to the grotto for refuge and quiet reflection. Pete has a new boat, and from the looks of it, there are several features probably not legal for civilian use.
So you found me. So what?
Pete, I don't know what all this is, but you're scaring us.
What you gotta be scared about? You a shark?
Pete, I don't want to, but I think we need to get the police, maybe the Coast Guard involved?
You think I'm crazy? No, I'm the most sane man you ever seen. Look, I didn't get here easy. But when some shark take everything I got, I'll give her the same chance she gave my boy. None! Now get the f off my boat before I kill you too. The f I say! Hope you got a hunger on! We serving shark etouffee tonight!
Pete has built an impressive battleship, but will it be enough to endure the prehistoric might of a mega shark?
Hello there, girlie. As you can see, I came prepared today. I'ma fix you up real, birdie. Got you right in my sights. It's about the end for you. Suit up, divers. Bet you didn't think I had torpedoes. I will chum y'all up. This boat will come with everything. Can y'all outswim a torpedo? Got you right in my sights. This about the end for you. Laissez les bons temps rouler.
I suppose there's a lesson to be gleaned here. Something about how the increasing commodification of the natural world has placed humans on a collision course with an environmental apocalypse. But this is a basic cable show where people tune in to watch sharks kill people, and people kill sharks. So until next fishing season, this is Maneater. Once more, the shark turns back to this place of centered calm. No one can tell what may be found in a shark's stomach. It's truly the ocean's garbage can. A quiet space is the ideal stage for the shark to meditate and harness her pure potentiality. A local critic once wrote that Amos Beauregard was the Rodan of the Bayou, but Beauregard was functionally illiterate and had no idea who Rodan was. Recently, Port Clovis has gained a reputation for its derivative, politically confused street art. Only here can the shark discover the miracle of self-love. Shark versus dolphin. Orca versus giant squid. Boat versus pylon. When establishing dominance, the contest is usually a deadly one, with survival as the prize. The threats to our ocean seem overwhelming, but by working together now, we can ensure that future generations always have a place to dump their old tires. The likelihood of catastrophic risk scenarios wasn't really considered when developers built a golf course in a flood zone. Tigeroos are part of a complete balanced breakfast for anyone aspiring to one day suffer from fatty liver disease. To look at Pier 1 is to see what happens when zero-risk management practices are utilized in commercial development. Galapagos to Malaysia, sea turtles live all over the world, but only the trashy ones live in Daytona. Pride in boat ownership manifests itself in a variety of ways here in Port Clovis. The shark returns once again to her safe haven. A shark is quite adept at hearing, being able to detect prey thousands of yards away. The ocean waters are driven constantly by tides, currents, and Saudi-owned super yachts. Ice fishing is similar to regular fishing, but enjoyable only to upper Midwesterners.